This is Daily Gold, let us begin. Okay, so with Daily Gold for today, I decided to farm up Scarlet Monastery. Not the old versions that we did at the beginning of this start of this series, but the newer versions from Cataclysm. Now, I jumped in towards Scarlet Monastery and beelined it all the way over towards the end boss, and I wanted to find out which ones are generally the better ones, obviously. And as we're gathering up every dungeon data, it's filling out quite nicely in the grand scheme of things. Now, one keynote thing to mention when it comes towards all of this is we're going to need to look into the results. So let's jump in towards Worth It. Jumping in towards Worth It, we can have a nice little look at Scarlet Monastery, and we can see Scarlet Monastery, the standard version, not of old. With the standard Scarlet Monastery, we have a total of 36,488 gold from this one with my run. And the different types of items that we actually get is, I didn't actually get lucky and get things like the Cobalt Crusher or anything. I mainly just got a ton of different types of greens. Some actually fetched a decent price on the auction house. However, in the grand scheme of things, it's better on the region market average as a whole for many other players. On my server, a lot of this stuff is not even worth it. So jumping in towards everything, let's have a look at the instance and just have a nice little gander at the items of note. As it comes towards items of note from the Scarlet Monastery, you can get a hold of the Scarlet Boots, which is 178,000 gold on my server, or the region market average of 182,000. You do have another item called the Sunblaze Coif, and that is at 30,000 for me and 70,000 for the region market average. The Begula's Robes, and that one is 8,197 for me and 18,300 for the region market average respectively as well. The Chestful Musket is currently going on my server for 35,596 gold, and the region market average for that one is 34,989 gold. Alongside that, the Cobalt Crusher is currently going for 11,000 gold on my server and is on the region market average of 69,521 gold. Moving on towards all that, and our last piece of item is the Archon chest piece. Now this one is beautiful to say the least, because it is currently going on my server for 1.4 million gold, and on the region market average is 836,361 gold. Not too shabby to say the least. Now, I generally haven't had this item drop for me. I've had multiple of the other ones drop for me. However, for this one, I haven't seen this one drop. Probably why it goes for such a high price on the auction house, even on my server, which is super competitive with all of that. If we actually jump in towards our auction house, we can have a nice little look at how we're actually going about everything. Currently have 405 auctions on the auction house. We're getting close to the 500 mark, and we've currently got 933,000 on the auction house. If we go in towards all of this and we just go up to Scarlet Monastery, select the group, we didn't actually get that an awful lot for me on my server, because the valuation obviously is a lot lower than generally all of that. But at the end of the day, we got the data, so in the future we can still check it even if it goes up in value. That being said, we can now go in towards our nice little mailbox and have a nice little look at everything. Items of note that we actually managed to sell was 3 different recipes, which is all the recipe pattern for the red Mageweave gloves. 357 gold for each, and the other one is the Chromite chest piece, and that one has managed to sell for 169 gold. Not too shabby to say the least, and that comes up to 1,579 gold overall. Let's pull all that gold in. We're at 46,000 gold on our auction house. We can see that we're getting a bit more regular sales. However, we need to bump those numbers up, let's be honest, in order to actually build out our auction house even further. Transmog is such a long game. However, I want that data, because if we go over towards the data sheet at this moment in time, open it up, this data sheet is for everyone to see. Everyone can see this. This is perfectly fine. It's actually on the Discord, so if I actually fire up Discord right now. And if you see on the Discord at this moment in time, if you go towards info when you join, there is the Worth It data sheet right at the bottom of all of my different types of like guides, news, links, farmed info. So this is like Blood Elf Bandit Mask spawn points and loads of other little spawn points that I've just added over the years. And Worth It data sheet, which Worth It data sheet is the public access version over here, and then obviously you've got the Worth It beta, which is on the Patreon. So this is the data sheet that we're talking about, and this is where you can just select any of it, import it into Worth It, and you've got the data that we've gathered. If you can actually see right now, we're getting really close to everything, because all I've got to do now is Diamond North, Gnomeregan, and Ragefire Chasm. I'm just terrified about going into the Horde area and doing that. Scarlet Halls, which I might do today, because then that just says one area off, and that is literally it for vanilla. Everyone else who's participating is adding quite a lot of stuff towards like TBC stuff. There's quite a few people that are actually doing the Wrath of the Lich King stuff, and there is a few different ones for like Blood Maul and all that stuff for WoD, and it's just adding out quite nicely, so we can get a better overall average in the grand scheme of things. With that being said, if we go back over towards the Discord, public access, anyone can use that sheet. Patreon access is when I've compiled data and added that in, and that is my specific data at this moment in time, until we've got enough data on the data sheet to compile all of that into one go to get a base average for that gold farm, because RNG, you're going to need a lot of data to make quite a massive data set in order to find a decent average for everyone that is fair and just works. So that's what I plan on doing. I don't know what this is, go away loot boxes, but it's nice to see everyone actually doing loads of stuff. So we've got like Kenji and Manders, these guys are like on it, as well as Jin. They're all on it, just farming up data at the same time. So if you want to give a hand and try and find some decent gold spots on this challenge, then please feel free. I've actually been looking at a lot of you guys' mailboxes that you've been posting. You're doing really well, and you're actually performing a lot better than me, which is yeah which is quite nice to see overall. Other than that, for today, that is pretty much everything, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.